Hey, good morning. Welcome to Sunday morning on Felixstowe Live. What a change this is. I thought we'd do something new and different, and here we are. It's an interesting thing to do from my point of view. My plan really is to try and give people an opportunity to say more about what they think and about what you think. It's about you. It's not about me. It's about what you think and what you'd like to say to the world from Felixstowe. You can talk about local topics, you can talk about bigger topics, but really and truly, it's aimed at being local and maybe news, maybe current affairs in our town. And what I'm trying to do is to give you an opportunity of saying your piece. So we can all say stuff on things like Facebook and so on. But in reality, I think the truth is that if we kind of say it on Facebook, it's kind of there, isn't it? It's kind of there for 1 minute, and then it is literally forgotten about. No one takes any notice, no one takes any interest, and no one cares. That is my honest opinion. It's a bit of a blighter, isn't it, really? Because you would like to think that if you say something somewhere, someone takes notice. But here on Felixstowe Live, at least, we're going to keep the programs that we do, these recordings that we do. And if you want to join in, all you have to do is put a comment on the text, and I will send you an invitation to join in. It's all very straightforward. I've got a page full of instructions on how you actually take part in the show. You need, as I think you now know, a smartphone, a laptop, a tablet, a PC. Any of those devices will work. And in fact, I think some game systems will work as well. So you can actually join in, have your say, face to the camera, your own camera, not mine, and and you can say what you want to say. If this works for you and if this interests you, all you have to do is get in touch as a comment, and we'll see where it all goes. Let's see who we've got out there. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We've got Mike, Poppy, and Frank. That's Mike and his two dogs, lovely little dogs, who have a great time with Mike. And nice to see you out there, Mike. So that's the plan with this Felixstowe Live Sunday show. I'm hoping to do it every Sunday. It may be every other Sunday. You can never tell how things are going to work out. But if you have a topic that you want to talk about, you are hugely welcome to come and take part in the show from your own home using your own device. It takes about 5 minutes from your point of view to get set up. So if we announce in the morning what we're going to cover later in the show or talk about later in the show, then you are welcome to join in. First things first, let me tell you I've got 2 or 3 topics. One topic I want to talk about is the Seasiders. That's Felixstowe and Walton Football Club. I think, personally, I'm not a big football fan, I have to tell you. I mean, I don't mind watching, but in reality, I'm not a big football fan. I know a little bit more about rugby, maybe, but there you go. But if you're keen on football and you do or don't go to and you do or don't go to the matches, I don't know whether you're aware, but Felixstowe Town had, Felixstowe Walton FC, the Seasiders, had free entry in their match yesterday against Romford. They defeated Romford 2-0. We actually showed the 2 goals on the channel yesterday, on our Facebook channel. And if you saw that, I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I was standing right behind the goal. I thought I was going to die at one point, but there you go. Okay, so let's see who else is out there. And we've got young Nick Stiles. Morning to you, young Nick. Looking very smart there in camo. I like it. And then we've got Mike, who says parking on the pavements. Now, Mike, you've got a special viewpoint on this, haven't you? Because, of course, you are mostly in a wheelchair and you've got your dogs, and parking cars on the pavement is a real no-no because it blocks it. We always think, well, people always say, oh, it's mums with prams, but it's also the people who use wheelchairs. They can't get by either. And the only way that some people can get by is to actually go out onto the road in front of all the damn traffic and then go around the car and come back onto the pavement. That, let me tell you, is incredibly dangerous. And I should think, having used a wheelchair for a few weeks years ago, I thought the thing about using a wheelchair quite often is when you're face to face with cars, you feel quite vulnerable. So I think that's a scary one. Your opinion, please. Let me hear from you. I have a problem because, as you probably realize, I'm doing this all on my own. I'd love to have a producer or a helper or someone who's interested in doing this kind of stuff. And if you would like to get involved, just let me know. You will get some proper training and you will get to take part and manage the show. I'm looking for someone to help. Hey, come on. So what else have we got? Let's go and have a look. We'll come back to you in a moment, Mike. And got a word from Steve Croydon. So good morning to you, Steve. Hope you're well. Let's just see what Mike had to say on that. Right. So it's delivery drivers rather than ordinary motorists, then, Mike, I take it. That's an interesting one. What we'll do, I think, is have a piece about this, and we'll get you to have a little word with us perhaps over the next few days and kind of fill us in on this, because I think this is a bit deadly and frightening. I know that years ago, when I was a thoughtless youth, I had an instance where I blocked a pavement. I did get told off by a parking warden, and I was doing a delivery. That was in Ipswich. That's going back about bloody hell, goodness knows how long. But in reality, it was a scary one, and it was for other people, not for me, because I realised what can happen when you're actually parked on a curb. You do make life more dangerous for mums with prams, point one, although they're mostly, kind of all right. But you do make life very difficult, I think, for people in wheelchairs because they cannot easily get out of the way. Let me have your opinion. Tell me what you think. I would love to know more about this. And if someone in a wheelchair might, I hope, perhaps, would like to come on at some point, then we'll get you to tell us more about it. I think it's dreadful. So we'll do that, Mike. More than happy to have a chat about it. I'll give you a shout this week and we'll do something about it. Don't forget also, of course, if you wish to come on the show, you're very welcome, and I'll show you why. Here we go. So if you've got this equipment, a smartphone, a laptop, a tablet or a PC, you can come on to Felixstowe Live on one of our chat shows. We're going to be doing more of this style of show on a regular basis, I hope, because we've now got a little bit more equipment that allows us to do that. And it does mean that we can talk live to you and you can talk back live, which is the key. Okay. What was my next personal question to you? We're going to deal, I think, with Mike's point, because I think it's really a keynote point. If you take, let's say this is a general one to anybody. If you're out in the street, take a snap of any delivery driver you see parked on the curb, especially if they're parked well in towards the building. We will maybe publish that snap, but we will delete the number plate. But I'd like to get a clue on how many people do actually park like that in a dangerous way that endangers members of our town's population, like mums with prams and like people in wheelchairs. I'd love to know how many people get problems from that kind of issue. Okay, so on to the next thing. One of the things that we have big in the news at the moment is the wheelchair ongoing problem, which is where those beach huts are supposed to be moving from the prom in front of the Spa Pavilion. Now, I keep getting all sorts of people making interesting comments. I'd love to have someone from the organisation on the show at some point and actually answer the questions directly. I do have some problems about this beach hut situation that I would like you to comment on as well, because I think it's quite an interesting one. The one that gets to me, and this is going to, I think, probably upset some people, I don't know, but who knows. The one that gets to me is that we used to own a beach hut. My family used to own a beach hut in the dim and distant. And back in those days, and I assume it still goes on, is that you are only actually leasing your site for a year. You're paying for your site for a year at a time. And in reality, if you have, if the council decide they don't want to lease it anymore to you or to anybody, then they can. They're only leasing it to you for a year. If you go out and spend £60,000 on a beach hut on site, that's fine. But if the council then 1 or 2 or 5 years down the line says, "I know we can't have this site anymore, we'll close down the lease," and they can do that on a kind of a year's notice from start to end. And they have decided to do that. They've given people notice that they are moving those 44 beach huts in front of the Spa Pavilion, and 14 of those 44 don't currently, at the last we heard, have anywhere to go to. So where are the beach huts going? I don't know. Have you heard? There are lots of, there's been a lot of interest in the press. There's been the national press, I think, are now onto it. If you have an opinion about beach huts at Felixstowe, come and tell me about it. And I'd love to see you on Felixstowe Live, on this live show. Don't forget, you can take part in this show. You can have your say in a very public way by just having your smartphone, your laptop, or your PC, or your tablet. Send us a message when we're going to do a live show, and we'll invite you in to talk about the subject. There is no problem. You can talk to your heart's content. You have to mind your language, because I get offended. Not really. But you do have to watch your language. But otherwise, you are allowed to say effectively what you think. And that's something that we need to get out there in the world, what local people think, because it will influence the way that other people behave. We hope. Okay. So let's go back to that topic and just see if we've got any comments in on that. Okay. Well, yeah, Chris Sharkey there was saying that's serious money for a beach hut. But to be honest with you, we know that beach huts in Felixstowe have sold, Chris, for about 60, 65 grand. But up at Sadswold, they've sold for a lot more. £100,000 is not uncommon. And I believe that's the same kind of deal that Felixstowe has, because it's the same district council. It's East Suffolk District Council. And the way they work it is that it actually goes on a year-by-year lease. You are only paying your lease for a year, and if the council elects to stop that lease, they have the right to do so. You've bought effectively a 500 quid or grand's worth of shed for 100 grand. Gosh, what can you say? Really difficult, isn't it? I'd like to have some feedback from beach hut owners. I would love to have a beach hut owner on site on this channel at some point to tell us what they think. I'm not looking for an argument, but I'd certainly like to get the beach hut owners to talk in public a bit more about what their situation is. Good morning to you, Daniel. Hope you've got an opinion or two. Love to hear from you. Okay. And so that's beach huts. Now, I've got a third topic that I want to have a brief word about, and that's houses. I'd love you to tell me what you think about Felixstowe's housing situation. At the moment, I'm not actually sure how many houses are being built. I know that up at Trimley, I think there's currently something like 1,500, something like that, houses being built. I will do a checkup on that this week and just see where we stand, because you wonder where the hell they're all going to be sold to, or who the hell they're all going to be sold to, in fact, don't you really? Because the interesting question is, there are loads of houses being built. Are they going to sell to people? Do we have the infrastructure to support those homes and those families and the kids with schools and all the other stuff? So much is needed to support an area of housing or a number of houses. Where do we go with it? I'd love to know, and I'd like your opinions mostly on it. So what we're going to say to you is, okay, we've had some nice responses this morning. We've had a few people watching, which is interesting. Thank you for watching. We're going to come back in a few days, or maybe on Sunday next week, and say join in again, because from my point of view, I want people to join in. I don't want this to be just some old geezer rabbiting on. I want it to be you saying your piece. All you need is a smartphone, a laptop, a tablet, or a PC, and you can join in. If you have a topic you want to talk about, doesn't have to be a topic I've mentioned. It can be anything you like, a local topic. I would love to hear from you. And that's me for this morning. I hope you've found this interesting. I hope you'll come back and do a bit with us, because I'd love to have you aboard. Okay, I'm Chris. This is Felixstowe Live, and I have to say those famous words, but I have to press a button first and twiddle a thing. because it's that kind of life. Okay, I'm Chris. This is Felixstowe Live. This is Sunday morning chat on Felixstowe Live, and I hope we'll see you really quite soon. Take care now.